start करते हैं Java and loops. So first we'll start. Java compiler produces code for JVM which is executed by a Java interpreter, JNDI. The API support of naming and directory services, RMI. The method provides the Java development kit and runtime support for calling remote method. JDK, compiler and class libraries to develop of a Java application. JRE, runtime support for running Java programs. JVM, interpreter of Java, acts as runtime engine to run Java application. Java C, compile a Java program. Java.txt package is used to perform format searches and manipulate text. Type for JDBC drives in a driver, which communicates through Java socket. Abstract class in OOPS, a class that cannot be instantiated. Better coupling, loose coupling. Polymorphic programming can eliminate need for switch logic. Threads has its own call stack. Abstraction, paying attention to important properties while ignoring the essential details. Mechanism enables design to focus on essential details of position. Polymorphic and runtime polymorphism are achieved by virtual functions. Concept allow different classes to be treated as instances of the superclass. Encapsulation, the process of an object controlling outside access to its internal data ensures the data is hidden from outside access. Information hiding, suppressing operational details of a program component. Principle to ensure that only essential information is visible outside the world. Data hiding, insulation of data from direct access by the program. Overriding can be used to prevent method overriding. Final, ability to change definition of an inherited method. Overloading, allow function or operator to give more than one definition. Destructive, deadlock the memory. Multiple inheritance when child class has its two or more parent class. Read method IO exception, not a thread class method candy names. P less than x dot length should be p dot x dot length. Object interact by sending message. Coupling, structure design communication between different modules. Parent class of all Java classes, java.lang.object. Usually pure virtual function is defined only in type class. Intermediate language, CPU, independent machine language style instruction set in for which .NET program is compiled. Java applet, video clips. Applet class control applet execution start destroy. Applets, the application in Java used for sending a small application to run at client side is applets. Union, user defined data type. Function, subroutine. Interactive environment, virtual reality. Output device, shadow mask. Multiple inheritance permitted directly C++ Python. Precedence highest to lowest. Localization, characteristic of software, indicates that manner in which info is controlled by control concentrated in program. Packaging or binding of a collection of items. Encapsulation, assembly language to machine language. Java servers are efficient and powerful solution creating dynamic content. Fifth generation language, constraint based language, reserved by producer program in both variety of type of operation performed it, data and function. Java required no cursor in GUI, java.awt, Java Apache Hadoop framework, Java. Data node and name node in Hadoop are worker node and master node respectively. Worker node and master node respectively. Virtual function is a member of function in where base class that except to redefine in derived class. Protected class member can be accessed only in derived class of the given class. Error encounter, create exception, raised exception throw by read method IO exception. Calendar class is provided Java package java.util. Package used to create map interface java.util. Java class is the example of encapsulation. When will the finally part try to accept execute always? Encapsulation the process of object controlling outside access to its internal data, virtual function dynamic binding, overriding the ability to change definition of one inherited method, overloading method, allow a function or operator to given more than one definition, destructive function that is called to relocate memory. A structured program do not include go to statement. Thread is in Java is class. JES Java Expert System Technology. Check a style coding a standard JVM abstract computer for Java programs. Java doc declaration and document parser. JDB debugger for Java. All exception type are subclass built-in class through reserved word in Java native. Desk checking debugging the program. A structure chart is a hierarchical partition of the program. First task in system analysis orientation of fact finding. Combination of top-down and bottom approach, integrative approach. Function of Java P command, a command to separate Java class files. Flow layout, arrange component in a contents like words page. Box layout. Layout manager preserves the width and the height of the component. Byte 8-bit, char 16-bit, int 32-bit. Not a Java separate percentage. Java x.swing.event. Additional event types specific to swing GUI component and declared in package. Not an operator size of. Imperative command based procedural object oriented imperative abstract data type. Logic declarative clause represent theorem proving. Functional side effect free declarative expression evaluation. Output AWT based applet draw string init first time applet is loaded. Start each time in applet document is displayed. Stop support thread to don't need to run. Destroy when applets need to be removed completely from the memory. You can place function templates at the start of the program above me. Draw react, draw line, draw polygon. Name the method used to Java to call default control this. Java PA command separate Java class files. Returned by the operator integer. Runnable is an interface in Java. Truncation floating point value assigned to an integer type. Which variable declaration or orientation Java not all char 8 which case mandatory is provided to destruction in class whose object will be created dynamically. The first version of Unicode was 16-bit encodings. Single entry, single exit structure programming. Procedure-oriented programming divide larger program into smaller functions, while OOPS divides the large program into a smaller entity known as object. Parameter is passed is function for faster execution called by value. Super used to call immediate parent of class constructor. Keyword is used to declare method without implements abstract. Abstract class from interface. Abstract class can have both abstract concrete method, abstract and concrete method. In Java, what will be happen if exception throws inside finally block? The exception is propagated normally. Access specify allow derived class to inherit private member but prevent outside access protected. What happens subclass declare a method with same name. The subclass method hides the parent method. Now next go to C++ and C. Unary operator in C. Exclamation size of slash. Prefix incrementer operator overloaded class counter operator plus plus. Access the value assigned by pointer in direction operator. Constructor. Divide the class initiated the base class constant implicity. Variables named a memory location assigned a value by program. Class object that share a common structure and common behavior is called class. Integer A 042 cursory out A 34 identifier One set of names can be kept different from other set. Default visibility private. Slash a alarm. Slash b backspace. Slash n new lines. Double slash backslash. Larger programming to a smaller programming procedure. Oops. Function. Larger programming to a smaller programming procedure. Oops. Functions. While hook layer into a smaller known as object used to reduce the function call overhead. Inline functions. Notation for null statement. Semicolon. Variable initiated to 0 by default external. Data type of UOF int. A reference variable must be initiated at a time of declaration. C++ CLSR indicate redefined canary.h. Ambiguous. When the compiler cannot differentiate between two overloaded constructor. When you pass a variable, what C++ passes only the content of the variable of receiving function by value. C++ abstract class declared class virtual word so 0. C++ 2 constructor connector 2 can be overloaded. Constructor does not have return type. C incorrect. Java is a variable declaration and has carry equal to 3. C++ do not have white spaces can. C++ destructor takes 0 arguments. C contains two special pointer operators, star and. C++ field in class are by default private. What value must C++ can return? Destructor does not return value. Prototype of function in a C, it is declaration of a function. Various time of floating point data type float double long double. C++ not a type of strict container active. Default storage class for local variable C auto. Predator is a pointer data type as predata. Star ptr data plus strcmp predefined function is used to compare two strings as defined, not a token of C program. Dot operator, each member variable generally access. C function can return single value size of carrying C1. C++ argument with string with absolute open the file sets position of the end of the file. Friend class in C++. It can access private and protected member of another class. Operator overloading in C++. Example, redefining plus to add complex numbers. A static variable inside class C++. It is shared among all objects of the class. Template in C++. A way to define function and class with generic type. Copy constructor argument position reference. C out in C++ stands here. Character output. C++ what does class hold? Data and function. C++ all members of class by default private. C all members of structure by default public. Terra means 2 to the power 40. Concept of violated of a destructor is not declarative function. Polymorphism. C++ cannot prevent a class from being inherited, declaring all constructor as private. C++ true about encapsulation. It is achieved using class and access specify. C++ feature allow function overloading. Default argument type conversion function temporal. Now that is last is Python. Not is a built-in exception in Python. Print insert positive number. Object.readLine read first and character of line. IO error built-in exceptions unable to be open the interpreter raise. With clause defining file, the file closes automatically. Command used to start Python commands from Python py. File name object attribute return the access modes file was open. Keyboard interrupt exception can be raised if a user hit a delete, escape. Get opt used to parse option received from the command line. Serialization is also known as picking. strpt time converts date to corresponding time. Set empty set created does not allow slicing. Read line function string. Write lines used to write multiple string to a file. Master triangle write greater than. Current working directory in Python you get CWD. Name error occurs when variable is not defined in Python. Reshaping process of changing a structure of data flow. R open file in read only mode. RB open file in a binary read only mode. W open file in write mode. A open file in a append mode. W plus override the existing file while writing data. Read.sub replace accuracy particular substring another string. Accessing way is used to extract part of series. Slicing Python executes else part by except else when no exception occurs. File offset often mode a file end of file. Write data in binary mode to file open. Write data in binary mode to file dump. Exit control loop do while loop. Implemented using hash table dictionary. Max length of Python identified. No fixed length specified. Python written in language C. Tuple sequence of values of any type of are indexed by integer immutable. Object read line 10 read first 10 character of line. List mutable. The bullet built-in function can be used to iterate over two or more sequences simultaneously. Dump method picking, load unpicking, seek setting offset in file. Fill NAC, fill in the missing values in a data frame, adding the name of plotter. Invalid file mode, RW. Data type uses hash table internally dictionary. Dictionary is unique key. Star key works, a special symbol argument used to pass the values of dictionary as keyboard argument. Delete dictionary set temp dict del temp dict rename. Not allowing slicing Python sets. List A plus list B extended. Not a data structure in pandas matrix. Drop row with missing values in data frame. df.drop. Select first 5 row deleting. df.add. Immutable in Python tuple mutable dictionary. The way to data set arrays into rows and columns shape tuples when argument passes to a function. Impacted exception raised when interpreter does not find the requested model. Form keys method return a dictionary with the specified keys and values. Not a keyword in Python eval. A star B writing as a star B is called as policy notation. Method of a list can be used to implement a structure, append and pop. Assert. A statement generally used in the beginning of the function. Call to check for valid input. Interpreter on encountering syntax error does not execute code. Does not belong to build exception class under flow error. Processing file get automatically close the file with file in which data are to be dumped need to open binary write mode. Panda1 library series. Not a DS in pandas matrix. Open file and append mode file object open. Dump pick link load unpicking C setting offset file object. Group by group basket. Okay. Describe numerical based on condition. Dictionary is unique keys. Function would convert panda series to data frame PD dot data frame, not allowing slicing Python source. Tuples are passed in function. Python execute the else part to exception when no exception occurs. Method will return position object in a file tail. Variable not defined name error. Inbuilt length executes compile list used to implement queue. Data frame. Two-dimensional data structure Python in a row index and column index. Dictionary unique key.